Hello. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you. Thank you for responding.
Good morning.
So, I'm the person who is going to take the session for today. Um, so, as everyone maybe everyone aware of this, today's session is a kind of demo session on Dynamics 365 Trade and Logistics functional area. So, I'll just go through few slides in today's session, and by the end of the session you will be provided with some clarity what is this Dynamics 365 and what you people will become after learning this product called Dynamics 365. So, and yes, some knowledge on this trade and logistics functional area will be provided in this demo class. Most probably we are not going to discuss about um, the in-depth scenarios of the concept, but we'll give some heads up why we have to learn this, what is this, why we have to learn this. So my demo session is more focused on these things with some information on the basic scenarios of our Dynamics 365. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen. So for the maybe this session will last for another 50 minutes from now. So first half an hour I'll take for giving the demonstration and all. So the last 15 minutes, 20 minutes. So if you people have any questions, you can ask me. Maybe if you are, most of the people will, I mean, you people are changing the path. And if you are people are already working in IT industry, and some may, I mean, I heard that graduates are also there. So they want to choose their career on Dynamics 365. So I'll just go with the basic scenarios only. If few people are already working in IT, kindly bear with me because I mean, but it's my guarantee that the session will be an interesting one for you people as well. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen and I'll take the opportunity to introduce myself first. So I'm Dattatreya Kumar Tadepalli. So and I am into this Dynamics 365 technology from the past 10 years. I mean, almost around 9 years, 9 months, close to 10 years from now. So I have started my career on Dynamics in the year 2014 October. Okay. So initially I started with the previous versions of Dynamics 365 and then I was moved into this Dynamics 365 and working on this Dynamics 365 for the past 7 years. And I'm a full time. I mean, full time as a full time role. I'm working for an IT organization. So, and teaching is one of my part profession because I'm interested in teaching and I'm fascinated towards it. So that's why I'm into this field as well. So I've started my teaching profession in the year 2018. So in my earlier days, I used to provide a training directly to the IT organizations. So for the people who are there in that particular IT organization, so later on my career was started like that, and I have given training to many people, more than 200 so far. I mean, I didn't count on numbers, but I have given training to many people, exclusively on Dynamics 365 Trade and Logistics. So that is about me. And so I have a PowerPoint presentation for you all. So where I have some topics that we are going to discuss in the next 30 minutes or in the next half an hour. However, I have detailed some things here. Just a minute. Yeah. So, however, I have detailed some headings of the topics here, but I don't want to read out here because obviously you will come to know then I don't see a purpose of reading all these things. Let's go into um, the slides and let's discuss each and everything. But the as I said, so after discussing about these topics, you will be provided with the clarity of what is this Dynamics 365 and what you are going to learn if you join this course, what you are going to learn in the next 2.5 months of time, and after learning those things, what you will become. So this sort of clarity will be provided to you after by the end of this particular session. Okay. So I always start my presentation with this particular question called what is IT? I mean, many of the people know what IT stands for information technology, but if you people want to convey your idea, what is IT? And I mean, my main focus area is what are the operations that IT organizations will do. So, if anyone wants to unmute, you people can unmute yourself and let me your thought on IT. So, what happens in IT? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, yes, it's audible.
Okay, I mean, I actually know. I thought that I am not audible and my screen is not visible as. Okay, so I suspect that my screen is visible and I'm audible to you. If you people
Yes,
want
yes.
to, I mean, convey anything, you can convey, or else I'll just tell you people my view about the IT. Okay, so usually, so everyone knows the IT stands for information technology. However, the operations that are being carried out in IT industry, I categorize it into two scenarios or two categories. Okay, the first one is IT people or IT industry will uh, do a sort of thing, and that is using the information they will sell the technology. So I refer here the information means it can be a customer business related information, so based on the customer business information or the customer requirements or customer needs, uh, so they will provide a solution through a technology for the business needs. This is the first category. Okay. The second category is using the technology. This IT people will play with the data. Okay. So now I told you two scenarios, right? Let me explain you with some example. Let us think of a scenario where there is no Microsoft Word. Forget about Dynamics 365. We have not yet started it. So you everyone here, I assume that everyone here know about MS Office. Okay, so MS Office contains some MS Word, MS Excel, PowerPoint, etc., etc. Some documents of or we call that as some technology is there or features are there. Let us think of I mean, I think in this perspective, I am telling my perspective. Let us think of a scenario where there is no MS Office. So maybe I thought that people have certain requirements like for their operational needs or business needs, they want to have some, they want to create some data and they want to uh, store that particular data, and whenever they want to retrieve that data and transfer that data to some other people. Maybe these are the requirements, I believe, before the evolution of MS Office was there. So this creation of the data, saving the data, are the needs of the people who are doing a certain business or certain task. Okay, so maybe these requirements are transferred into the uh, evolution of the technology called MS Office. That's how I think it happened. Maybe uh, that's the scenario I believe that happened in those days of evolution of MS Office. I think so. Okay. So now, if you consider this particular scenario, what is the information here? The information here is the customer requirement. I'm referring the information here as the customer requirement, that requirement of creation of data, saving the data, and this we call as the requirement, and the requirement I'm considering it as an information. Using that information, IT people are creating a technology and they are selling it to the customer. This is the first mode of operation that an IT organization is doing. And the second mode of operation is, now let us assume the MS Office is there. So using that MS Office, so now people will play with that particular data, I mean, with that particular technology. Play in the sense they will create the data, they will retrieve the data whenever they want, they will save the data. So they can manipulate the data, they can share the data. So all these things they are doing on the basis of some technology that was there. So these are the two, I mean, whatever the operation it is that an IT organization is doing, according to my view or according to my perception. So 90% of the operations that are going in that are happening in IT, we can map those operations into these 2 points. So the first one is using the information, IT people will sell the technology. And second point is using the technology, IT people will play with the information. Here information I'm referring to data. Okay, so that's how I mentioned here. So using the technology, the IT people can create information, they can store the information, retrieve the information, and transfer the information whenever they need. So all these things they are doing on the basis of a particular technology. Okay, this is what my perception is about IT. So usually I'll add this slide in my demo because I saw people joining the demos as soon as they complete their graduation from their nearest relations or some through some other sources. They came to know about this dynamics and they want to choose their career or they want to start their career in IT industry with Dynamics 365. So that's why I'll add this slide in my demonstration. And also there are people who are already working in IT, so this slide, I'll try to utilize it to explain my perception about IT. Maybe for a teacher, that perception is required, I believe, because uh, you many people, even I mean, many not every individual will learn something on a particular day. Especially in IT, it's a every day we have to learn something to sustain in IT. So that learning can happen through a particular person or particular system or something else. Okay, so when you are hearing from a from a particular person, if the perception of that particular person is you if you people are able to understand that perception, then it will give you some clarity whether uh, he can I mean, give some clarity to you whether you can really learn that from particular person or not. That sort of perception you will come to. So that's why I'll add this slide in my um, demo slides. Okay, so I'm moving on to the next slide. So what is ERP? So this particular ERP I'm adding it my demo slide because our Dynamics 365 F&O is an ERP application. So we are saying that Dynamics 365 is an ERP application, but before that we need to understand what is ERP first. Okay, if you know about ERP, then only you may will be able to understand or you will be in a position of accepting the point called Dynamics 365 F&O is an ERP application. So I feel there is utmost necessity to uh, know or understand what is ERP. Okay, just a minute. So what is this ERP? ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning, whereas this was the picture I used to project here. So before explaining you the definition or before giving you the information of of ERP, go. I'll just give you an example. I mean, of a particular organization, and then I'll explain you the definition of ERP. Okay. So ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. So by the name itself, you can understand enterprise. You can refer to a particular organization and resource starting from a particular um, any particular asset to the human resources. Like the talent of the people will be an asset to the company. So and it will be a resource also. So planning, maybe how what are the assets, I mean, what are the resources that company is having, how you are going to plan it. So maybe this sort of information that it will give upon hearing the full form of ERP, enterprise resource planning. This sort of visibility that you can, I mean, that the abbreviation of ERP will give it to you when you hear that word enterprise resource planning. So let us discuss some more details on this with a sort of example. So if you observe this particular slide, I have mentioned some names here: sales, financials, inventory, services, human resources, MRP, production, CRM, like this. So I have mentioned some names here. So let's say we can understand that these are the departments that exist in a particular organization. Okay, so let's say the very usual and the very uh, frequent example that I'll explain here is about the Maruti Suzuki company. See, if you everyone will know about this Maruti Suzuki company, right? It's a company who will deal with the automobiles like car. Okay, so if you ask me what is their main mode of business, they are selling the cars. Okay, they are manufacturing the cars and selling the cars to their customers. This is the primary mode of business that they are carrying now. So what they are doing, they are doing the business on the car. That car is their product. So on the basis of a product, they are doing their business. So now I'll call this car as a finished product, because I'm just naming this car as a finished product. Okay, so because car is not a ready-made product that can be uh, invented or discarded. Okay, but a car can be manufactured using many of the other materials. We call those as raw materials. So that's why I'm referring to this particular word called finished product, and I'm referring it to the car. Okay, now for the manufacturing of a car, this Maruti Suzuki company may need multiple departments in that particular company. So what are those departments? Let's think in a sequence. Let's discuss in a sequential manner. So now the agenda is to manufacture a car. The company's agenda is to manufacture a car. So let us assume the company was established, and to manufacture the car, they need some procurement department. So the procurement department will create some purchase orders for procuring the raw materials. The main work of the procurement team is, as per the demand, they have to create or they have to procure the raw materials, and they need to uh, make available the required raw materials for the manufacturing purposes. So this is the work of the procurement team. Whereas the other department, let's say now let us assume the procurement team have procured some raw materials. So this raw materials should be placed in somewhere such that whenever there is a need of a particular raw material, it has to be in a position of picking it directly from the location and moving it to the production floor. We have to arrange our stock that we have purchased in such a manner to for easy picking purpose. We have to pick it easily, or else if whatever the items that you have purchased, if you keep all those items like a dump yard, it will be an impossible thing to find out the smallest size raw materials that are there that you have purchased. So it will be a difficult scenario. So each and every item that company has procured for their production purpose, it has to be stored in a proper place, and it has to be maintained in with proper conditions. Let's say um, if the company is doing some sweets business, let us a different example. So that milk is one of the ingredient which is required for preparing the sweets. Maybe that milk has to be stored in a specific temperature um, for its uh, the milk should be in a position of we have to use it, right? So for that the milk has to be stored in some frozen conditions, not in frozen conditions. Some temperatures, cool temperatures has to be maintained for maintaining that particular product called milk. So in such a way, each and every product has its maintenance strategies. So each and every product has to be maintained in such a way. Then only we can make use of it for our manufacturing purpose, or we can get some benefit out of it. So for this proper storage purpose, we need a warehouse, and we need the inventory and warehouse management teams. So these people will take the responsibility of arranging the stock, and they will take the responsibility of incoming stock and outgoing stock. So for that, they need the Maruti Suzuki company need inventory and warehouse management team. So they need a production team also for carrying out the operations of their production. So let us assume now the car is ready, car is manufactured, and now they need a marketing team. So marketing has its very good importance in any particular business, because in India, let's say if you want me to give an example, Cadbury is one such company who has turned over their sales based on the marketing purpose only. You know about Cadbury ads that are there in India. So because of their ads, they got huge marketing. They got huge customers in India. So marketing plays an important role, and with different marketing strategies, marketing people will market the product that company has manufactured to attract the customers. Okay, so a marketing team is required for Maruti Suzuki. Similarly, um, we have, I mean, the sales team. Let's say we have marketing team has marketed the product well, and now the customers are ready to uh, buy the product from your company. So from the company point of view, it's a sale for Maruti Suzuki. So Maruti Suzuki needs some sales team to provide some hassle-free experience to the customers, or to give some good sales experience to the customers. So that if good sales experience is there, maybe they can recommend their nearest persons, recommend the company and the car for the nearest companies, considering the other factors also. Okay, so that's why sales team is required for them. So now, for handling all these departments and handling the persons in all these departments, a human resources department is required for Microsoft, and a payroll team is required for them to pay the salaries for all the people. And similarly, as me, these many operations are being carried out, so finance team is required. So to take care of the accounts payable amount, payable means the amount that company is paying to the vendors, and receivables means the company, I mean the amount that company is getting from their customers. So these many departments and uh, many people under those departments will work together for one goal called manufacturing of a car and making profit out of that product which was manufactured. So they keeping these two things as the primary motive. Many people will work for the organization. Now, I gave you just brief on the work that a particular department is doing. Now, if you think from the perspective of procurement team or from the sales team, so they need, I mean, on a particular day, Maruti Suzuki is there in uh, throughout India. Okay, it was there in out of in foreign countries also. So let's discuss about India now. So it was there in many retail outlets, or many dealers are there in India for Maruti Suzuki. And if you count on sales that happen on a particular day, it will be a huge number of. Okay, so for handling all those sales, definitely sales team need a software solution, and for procurement team also, they need a software solution for handling the raw materials, how many they have procured, okay, and how many they have received, and how many still are in transit. I mean, transit in the sense vendor has to send the stock. So they will also create multiple purchase orders, and it is not a one-time creation. So based on the demand, they quite frequently they will create purchase orders in the system for procuring the. I mean, they will have to create purchase orders, or they have to make purchase orders to bring the stock. So they also need some software solution to record all those things. For human brain, it is not possible to uh, remember all uh, the purchase orders that are created on a. I mean, just a minute, I'll plug in the charger. Yeah. So for a human brain or a set of team, it is not possible to remember all the purchases and how many items are there added, or how many items we have ordered through the purchase order, and how much quantity we have ordered. So it's quite a complex thing to remember all those things. So definitely they also need a software solution for that. And for inventory and warehouse management team also, so they require a solution to understand how much stock is coming in and how much stock is going out. So they also need a software solution for that. And for finance team and the HR team, and I mean HR team also need a software solution to understand the talents of each and every person, so that they can make use of that particular talent of the individual for the organizational needs. And similarly, sales team needs some software solution to carry out the sales, and or to record the sales that happen for the company. I mean, okay, and next, finance team also required some software solution to track all the finances, how much money the company is doing on investment for manufacturing the car, and what are the expenses for that, and what are the maintenance cost, and what was the amount that they received through sales. All this has to be tracked. Then the company may understand whether they got profit or loss. So they also need some software solution for this. So now, um, each and every department has its own requirement for having a software solution. Okay, so now what ERP will do is ERP will provide a solution approach. I'll say it as a solution approach, but if you try and find in Google, so it will be mentioned as ERP itself is a software. If ERP itself is a software, then everyone is you will use that software only. So I am little against to that particular line which will be which you can find in Google. So I'll define ERP in this way. ERP will provide a software solution through different softwares. Let's say Dynamics 365 is one particular ERP application. It will provide a solution for all the business needs. Okay, let's say each and every department here they are having their own requirements, right? What this ERP will do is ERP will consider all the requirements that each and every department of the company is having, and by considering all those requirements, and the ERP will provide a solution through through a software. That software is a single platform. So ERP will provide a solution to all the business needs by bringing all those needs to the one particular platform. So one such platform is Dynamics 365. Okay, so this is all about ERP, and this is my perception about ERP. Okay, so I'm moving on to the next slide called the phases of the software development cycle. So why I'm involving this particular slide in my demo is people should have some clarity what happens in an IT. Let's say I told you two scenarios, right? The two scenarios will happen in the form of project. Maybe you heard this word called project. So according to me, a project is a set of tasks that will be done in a specific time. So that is the definition, or that is what the understanding that I had on a project. Okay. So now, what are the different phases of the project? And if you ask me why I have to know about this project and why I have to know about this software development cycle, here if you see, I have mentioned some functional consultant, technical consultant. So after learning this particular product called Dynamics 365, you will become Dynamics 365 FN what Trade and Logistics functional consultant. Okay. So trade and what is the role of a functional? What are the responsibilities for the role called functional consultant? So with the help of a software development lifecycle, I used to explain the people what are the responsibilities of a functional consultant. So first of all, let's go through this software development cycle. There are 6 phases in it, primary node. So the first one will be the analysis phase. So in this analysis phase, what the finance consultant will do is the finance consultant will go to the premises of the customer who is going to provide you business, or who is willing to take the license of a particular ERP for their organizational need, in the sense they have. You can consider Maruti Suzuki. Let us say this Maruti Suzuki is in need of some ERP application, and they want to take an ERP applications related software solution for their organization. Now, a functional consultant will go to the premises of this Maruti Suzuki, and this functional consultant has to understand the business processes. So what they are doing, business processing, how they are handling the purchases, how they are handling the sales, how they are handling their inventory and all, how they are handling their finances. Everything has to be understand. Functional consultant has to understand this particular thing. So, and the main understanding that a functional consultant should have here is he or she has to understand why the customer is looking for an ERP solution. So if the answer is known for that particular question, maybe you can mold or you can customize the application that was there in your hands for reaching the business needs, or for uh, to gain customer satisfaction. You can design the application that was there in your hands according to their needs. Okay, so this requirement discussion will happen in the analysis phase. And after the requirements are finalized, so a functional consultant should take the responsibility of the designing part. So what's this designing part? So I'll tell with an example. Let's say you all know about Gmail, right? So maybe if you browse the link of Gmail, so you can see like this. Maybe in the center of the page, you can find some email, and a box behind that word called email, and another word called password, and just below that password word there is a box again, and just below that we have options called forgot password, forgot user ID. So we have these options like this. So the page was designed in such a way, maybe according to the requirement, the customer has requested, okay, I need the login page like this. So now a functional consultant has to design the login page like this. So, and whatever the password that has entered, so that password should be the actual password that person has configured, then only the person should be able to log in. So these some criterias are there. So accordingly, this functional consultant should take the responsibility of designing the Microsoft Dynamics 365 application according to the customer needs and all. Okay. So if something the customer has requested which was not there in the application, this functional consultant has to design it for the organizational needs. And uh, the functional consultant, through his or her design, has to achieve the business requirement. Now, after the design was made, development phase will be involved. So, will be started. So, where the functional consultant will sit with the developer and explain the requirements of the customers. And this developer will write a code for meeting those requirements to fulfill the requirements. The functional consultant, sorry, will explain the developer, and developer will code, and he will bring out the design that functional consultant has made. Okay. So some background code will be there for, let's say, if you take the example of Gmail only, if you have entered your password, so system has to do a background check with that the password that you have entered is actually the password that you have configured or not. If there is a mismatch, system should throw an error. So this is the background code will be executed for while you are doing those things. So the code will be written by the developer. So now the code was written, and the functionality that you have, the functional consultant has designed is ready. Now the functional consultant will do the testing for the requirement. So each and every requirement that customer has given will be a test case for the functional consultant. Let's say the exact this user ID and password should be at the center of the page. Are you able to see at the center of the page or not? This is one requirement. And after entering the wrong password, an error message should be populated that password is wrong. This is one particular requirement. So for each and every requirement that the person has received through the customer, it will be a test case. So like this, the application will be tested. And once the testing was completed successfully, then the the deployment will happen. Deployment in the sense the moving the code to the environment which customer is using. You can take the definition, or you can understand it like that. So once the application is ready and you have given your the application to the customer for their operational needs, the maintenance will be there. In that maintenance, whenever the organization have any doubts, or if they are facing any errors, the functional consultant will be responsible for handling the customer in that particular. Now, if you consider the 6 phases of the project, so in the first 2 phases, exclusively functional consultant is involved. And if you take this development and this development phase, here developer will be involved, where functional consultant will provide assistance to the developer for writing the code and all. Here also, to some extent, the functional consultant will be involved, whereas this testing and this deployment and maintenance, both functional and technical consultant will be involved. Okay. So as I told, the verticals in IT are functional and technical, and after learning this particular product, you will become a functional consultant. So functional and technical uh, together, their contribution will lead to a better, successful project. Okay. So I have mentioned some things here. What is this Dynamics 365? So I mentioned here streamline operations, enhance customer engagement, make data-driven decisions. Like this, I have mentioned something, but if someone asks me why a company will go for a purchase of a ERP license, let's say the product that we are learning is owned by Microsoft. That's why we're calling it as Microsoft Dynamics D360, Microsoft Dynamics 365 F and O. D stands for Dynamics. So if anyone wants to purchase the license of D365, they have to purchase that license from the Microsoft. So usually, why a company will look after for a ERP solution for their business needs? If you people can, if you people want to answer, you can unmute yourself and answer. Okay, so I'll tell you. Uh, Usually, any person or any organization will go for a purchase of license of a particular ERPs. Maybe in their business they have observed a scenario that whatever the income that they want to have is not getting generated. Maybe uh, there are some loopholes are there in business. Because of that loopholes, the employees are taking advantage, and company is not seeing the margin that they want to that they have to or that they want to see. Okay, they are not getting that particular margin. So obviously it given a clear cut understanding that some loopholes are there in the company. So if everything is digitalized, everything is systemized, so then the probability of having these loopholes is very less. So if someone asks me why the people will go for purchasing a D365 FNO application, so the answer will be to have the better financial outcome. So when the better financial outcome is possible, when the operations that we carry out for the organization are handled in a proper way. Operations in the sense the purchase operations, sales operations, transfer, etc., etc. Whatever the operations that are there for that particular organization, if those operations are handled in a proper way, then the company will get the better finances. So as we have the word called finance and operations, now this trade and logistics will come under the operations section. Okay. So that's why here I have mentioned that streamline the operations, enhance customer and make data-driven decisions, improve efficiency, gain real-time insights. So these are the things that I mentioned. But in the real-time scenario, this was the reason why people will go for Dynamics 365 application. And to get all these benefits through it, people will go for the purchase of the license of Microsoft Dynamics 365. So we have the evolution here, whereas it was started in 1998, and this Dynamics 365, it was started here in the year 2014. Maybe it will start with 2016 here with the X7. So now we are using this Microsoft Dynamics 2000. I mean, the name was given to the application in 2020, Microsoft D365 Finance and Operations. Okay, so before we have this IBM Accepta 2.5, 3.4, like this. So I have started my career on Dynamics 2009. So I've started my career in 2014, and I have started on this application called AX 2009. I have worked on AX 2012, AX7, and now I'm working on this Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations. Okay. So now I'll give you some clarity. What do you learn about this particular in this training? So this Dynamics 365 application can be used for finance related things, can be used for operations. Now under operations, there are multiple things actually. So we have uh, multiple operations, and purchase operations will be there, sales operations will be there, production is one of the kind of operations, warehouse operations will be there. So we are discussing about the operation side, and we have finance as well, where there are different courses also available under this Dynamics 365. We have finance course, we have this trade and logistics, we have advanced warehouse management course, we have production and master planning course. So on real-time basis, these four courses will be in limelight when it comes to Dynamics 365. So these four are four different courses. Okay, so you people will become an SCM consultant whenever you learn this trade and logistics. And you people will become an SCM expert if you people learn this trade and logistics, advanced warehouse management, and this production and master planning as well. Okay, so these are the areas that you people have to cover if you become an XCM expert. But to start with your career on Dynamics 365, this trade and logistics is the course that you have to take in order to initiate your career in Dynamics 365 F&O. Okay, so whereas our course is all about trade and logistics, in the trade and logistics, these are the 6 modules that we are going to cover in our classes. Maybe this trade and logistics is categorized into 4 areas: purchase management, sales management, product management, and inventory management. These are the 4 areas that this trade and logistics topics are spread across. So, and these topics are spread across 6 modules in Dynamics 365. So, accounts payable and procurement and sourcing comes under purchases. Accounts receivable and sales and marketing comes under the sales. Whereas for this is for sales management, and these 2 modules are for purchases management. Whereas we have product information management for handling the product in the Dynamics 365 system. Whereas we have a separate module for inventory management. Okay, how you most of the people will think that inventory and warehouse both are same, but in the real time, inventory and warehouse are two different things. Inventory is our stock, warehouse is the place where we put our stock. Okay, so how do you manage your stock? So that there is a specific module for that. So that is inventory management. And now for we have a curriculum for us. What we are going to cover in our classes, we have a curriculum, and there is a 4-page curriculum is there. So that curriculum will be provided to all people after this session through Visualpath Executive. So that whatever the topics that exist in that particular uh, curriculum, so will be under these 6 modules. Along with these 6 modules, we are going to touch another module called General Ledger for to know the basic finance setup in the system. Okay, and apart from General Ledger, we will touch another 2 modules called Organization Administration, System Administration in the system to do the basic setups in the system before we carry out a transaction. What was the basic setup that we need to do? We will touch another modules called Organization Administration and System Administration. So 6 modules we will discuss in detail, considering our curriculum, and the 3 other modules we will touch, and we will learn we will gain some knowledge on those modules as well for to carry out our course and all. So altogether, this particular course will take around minimum of 50 to 60 hours are required to complete this course. I mean, whatever the curriculum that we provide, 4-page curriculum. So to cover all those topics, we need 50 to 60 hours. So I have a track record of completing the course in 50 classes, minimum 50 classes, and the maximum I took is 57 classes. Okay, so that was the minimum time required to complete the curriculum we have. 50 in the sense, if considering Monday to Friday, daily 1 hour, it will take around 2.5 to 3 months of time for the completion of the course. Minimum 2.5 months are required for the completion of the course. So I'm done with my part. So if you people have any questions, please let me know. I'll answer your questions. So if you need any clarity before you take up this course, so you can ask me those questions. At the moment, if you people don't have any questions also, maybe if you contact the Visualpath executive, they will arrange a conference call with me, and you can have the discussion sometime later also. If you have any questions at the moment, please shoot those questions now.
Hey, Dattatreya. So this I'm Venkat.
Yeah, hi Venkat, please tell me.
Okay. Um, so are you for this is SEM course, right? So in addition to that, 3 modules like purchase, inventory, product, or sales, and advanced warehouse management also, you'll be teaching us, right?
No. So to give you some more clarity on this,
We are going
we
to.
have 3 areas under SCM: trade and
Okay,
logistics, advanced warehouse management, and production. So
correct.
trade and logistics contains 6 modules. Advanced warehouse management is we have 1 module here. For production, we have 2 modules. So we are going to cover trade and logistics, and we have the topics called purchase management, sales management, inventory management, and product management. Advanced warehouse management is altogether a separate course. That separate course is there for advanced. So we are going to cover this the topics under the 6 modules. So
Okay,
our class is for trade and logistics.
understood. But for the becoming a SCM consultant, we need TNL, advanced warehouse management, and production modules also, right, Dattatreya?
No, not required actually. See, this Dynamics 365 is like a ocean. Okay,
Hmm.
so if you take my scenario, I'm a concern. I told you that I'm also working for a company, right? So in my company, I used to take care of the TML and advanced warehouse management. So if you go for a very big, if you go for big organizations, so there will be separate consultants for exclusively for TNL, for advanced warehouse management and production. So different consultants will be there for all these three. Maybe one person is expertise on T&L, and another person is expertise on advanced warehouse management, and another person is expertise on these two modules that are related to the production. So we will have different consultants like this. So, but honestly, we will maintain the transparency here also. These are the theory areas that comes under SCM. So if you are aware of these courses, you will become an SCM expert. But don't understand that all these three courses has to be taken by the person if they want to start their career. No, maybe for exclusively for TNL only we are requesting for a time of 3 months for the completion of the course, so you can understand um, how much how many topics will be there and how much knowledge need to be shared. So in order to start your career, this is the course that you have to learn in Dynamics 365. Maybe uh, just to maintain some transparency here, if the person is having the finance background, so then they can go for the finance course. If the person is not having finance background, maybe background in the sense I'm talking about educational background. Okay, the person is having the educational background of finance, they can go for the finance courses because they can understand it. But if the person not having any finance background, then if they go for this finance course, I saw people realizing after a few days, after attending few classes, I saw people realizing that this course is not something, or this particular finance is not something their cup of tea. So, but this SCM trade and logistics does not require any educational background. So maybe we'll start with the basics of Dynamics 365 in this trade and logistics course. So only requirement here is focus. That focus is there, people can easily understand. But all the three are not required. You can, if you want to start your career, please start with P&L. Maybe for me also, after having I started my career in 2014 after having 4 years of experience in IT industry. Then I learned this advanced warehouse management. So now I'm dealing with these two areas in the organization which I'm working.
Okay.
Any other questions from anyone?
So, Datta, one more question from my side. So,
Yes,
are you
please.
going to do the implementation uh, course for us, or like how it will be?
So our course will be like explaining you the product features and all. See, if you want to implement a particular, let's say, when you use the word called implementation of VLC, I'm considering it as implementing a project for the customer, right? So, but our course is designed in such a way that we are learning the product features. If you learn the product, what are the functionalities that exist in the product, then only you will be able to understand what the requirement given by the customer can be fulfilled or sophisticated through the application or not. So you will be provided with the product knowledge through this course, and we will provide some assignments to you in the form of some requirements. So maybe you can do that assignments and all for your practice purpose. So that assignments that we are going to provide is like a kind of requirement. Uh, Requirement will be given to you. Now, as a functional consultant, you should understand the requirement, and using the Dynamics 365 application, you have to configure it you have to configure it in Dynamics 365. Mostly if it is a weekday class, after 3 weeks of session, I'll share the first assignment sheet with you all people who has joined. Uh, so you can take that, and once after you configure, if you come back to me saying that I have configured these things and this is the these are the hardships and these are the problem or the errors that I have faced, or I can explain you if that same task has to be done in a better way, what was the approach? I can explain you all these things. And I got a chat in the message that do we recording of the class and training. So whatever the classes that we are going to have, all those classes will be recorded, and by Visualpath you will be provided with the access of the recordings. So during the class, as I will take the class, I will take the responsibility of the recording, and the access to the recording will be provided by the Visualpath. And the training material, by the end of the course, we will provide, training material in the sense, I have some Microsoft documents with me. You can find those in the Google also. That documents will be provided to you at the end of the course. I mean, it's not a material that has prepared on our own. It was an authorized Microsoft document. So we will provide the documents to you if you want. Or else you can find those content. Let's say if you are discussing about any particular topic, you type the topic name in the Google search bar, and with a suffix with a suffix hash in Dynamics 365, you will get the content on that particular topic. That topic, uh, we will provide some PDF documents to you at the end of the training course.
So one more question, Datta. What about the
Yes.
lab access? Like, will it be,
What about the?
what about the lab access? For example, to practice the session.
Okay, for practice and all, I'll share one number in the chat, so you people can approach that particular person. If you people are from Hyderabad, so you can directly approach that particular person. And but I mean, his name is Rajshekhar, and his office is in Amirpet. So if you take your laptop to that particular person, he will install the application in your laptop, and he will charge 1,000 rupees per that. Or else, if you are not there in Hyderabad, so and online installation. Maybe he will take the access of your laptop through some TeamViewer or some any desk or some, like we have some applications, right? Through those applications, your system access should be provided to him, and he will install the application. Some laptop requirements are also there, like 512 GB SSD should be there and 16 GB RAM should be there. So some sort of requirements are there. That person will explain you uh, those requirements and all. So I'm giving the number of that particular person in the chat, so you can check. You can contact him. The person name is Rajshekhar, and his number is. So this was the number, and his name is Rajshekhar. So I got another question. Will this training help with getting certification? Yes. So if you want to take certification on Dynamics 365, this Trade and Logistics MB330 is the certification ID of my that was provided by Microsoft. There will be a fees that you have to pay to Microsoft as an examination fee, and you can take out the exam. And there are other ways also to take the certification. And, if you pay some amount to the people, they will, I mean, altogether around 8,000 rupees you need to spend to get the certification. So that amount is a examination fees that you are paying to the Microsoft. So if you pay that amount, you will write an exam and you will get the certification. And if you need any exam assistance also, that will be provided by some institutes are there who can help you with the certification and all. So they can help you. So if you need this certification also, at the end of the course, I can, if you people really want to take certification, I can share one numbers, and you people can reach out to them for getting certification. Any other question from anyone? Okay. Seems that there are no questions. So if you people still have any doubts in your mind, so you may reach out to Visualpath Executive. I'll share the Visualpath Executive number also in the chat. Maybe I thought some of you people got a call from her directly. If you people didn't get a call directly from the Visualpath, so I'm giving one number in the chat. So you may reach out to her. Her name is Kiran Mai. So you can reach out to her, and if you have any questions, she will arrange uh, a conference call with me, and you people can ask your questions if you have any. So if you people don't have any questions, we will wind up for the day and see you all in the class. Maybe the timings and all will be decided by the Visualpath only. Maybe after this after this session, Visualpath will reach out to you and they will take your, I mean, what is your feasible timings and all. They will take the inputs and accordingly, based on the majority people who are interested in a particular time, they will decide the time and all. Okay. So shall we wind up or any other questions?
Tata, I have one question. Maybe other participants can
Yes, Venkat.
drop off. I can ask you one to one if that is okay for you.
Okay. Maybe if you want to talk to me directly, just make a call to this Kiran Mai. She will arrange a conference call. We can have the one-to-one discussion.
Sure, Tata. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So others, if you have any questions, I'll wait. If not, we will wind up the session. Okay then. So see you all. Bye.